Hello everybody and welcome to SLR. We're going straight line racing, tier 2, round 14. I'm RJ. I'm new to this league, so if I stumble, because it's my first time here, that's the reason why. I'll try and get through this. I know Jose was meant to be commentating alongside me, but he couldn't make it. So I'll try and fill in as best as I can this week on my own, but it could be fun. The standings for tier 2, if I can find them, are... yeah, here we go. Currently, leading the championship is Legend in the Mercedes. He's on 218 points, 82 points clear of Muck Rider in the Ferrari. It's quite a battle, well no, more of a battle for around third. Fairly close from third downwards with Dallas scored. Call him... if he's fine with me saying, who we're actually following right now, if he's fine with me saying Dallas instead of the full name, he is in third in the championship with 96 points after 14 rounds. Fourth is Mems Virus, who is in the McLaren, currently fifth. Should get the tyres up. Sorry, I wasn't very prepared for this. Oh, track map. We will use, and there we go, there's the tyres. I'll get best on. So Mems is in fourth with Nadir in fifth in the Williams, so they're on 79 points and 70, well, no, they're on 84 and 79 respectively, with NSX Berra, so I'm just making sure these names are correct, on 78 points. Robbins in 7th in the Alfa Romeo on 74 points, with a bit of a gap back to Mocking in 8th in the McLaren, 61 points. GMCK in 9th in the Red Bull with 55 points, and to round out the top 10 we have F1 Mustang in the Toro Rosso who has 47 points. So currently it looks like Legend, don't know if the J is silent, but he is currently quite far out in front of the championship, 82 points after 14 rounds, which is a considerably big lead, and he's just gone fastest of the session so far in this qualifying session. With 7.5 minutes remaining, he's gone to the top of the leaderboards by a tenth of a second, and 119.053, and that is the time to beat people behind. There is still enough time for him to get into the pits, for Legend to get into the pits and change into a fresh set of tyres and go to try and improve that lap. Still, yeah, no one's really going to have... well, they will have put their foot down, but not all the way. There is still probably a lot of room for improvement from some of these guys. With the last from the session, that is a Haas in the wall. That is Tash in the wall. He's 14th, so he will start outside the top 10. But that's a big incident at Lesmo, at Ascari. And yeah, we've lost 2 people from this qualifying session already, as we've lost Nadir in the Williams driver already out the session without setting a time. So if Nene sets a time, he should, well, he will be at the back of the grid without a disqualification. You never know, it might happen. Anyone on flying laps at the moment? I don't think so. There are Ferraris starting, I don't know if they're starting laps or ending laps on board, with Muck Rider second in the championship, trying to close the largest gap in the whole field. between him and Legend. Let's see. I think this is a time, so let's see if we can get to the telemetry, the lap data up. Let's see if this is going to get anywhere close to Legend. 7 tenths behind currently, so that is a lot of time to gain. Monza, pretty well known for its straights, low downforce, well, minimal downforce, as little downforce as you can possibly get, but still with some pretty tricky corners, especially the Ascari chicane. Very easy to spin out here on the exit as you're trying to put your foot down as quickly as possible while still turning on the exit of that left-hander. As he enters into Parabolica now, I think he's going to cross the line. Yeah, he is. It is a flying lap. What's he going to set? It's a 19.4. He goes up to 4th place at the moment. Provisional 4th. Still about 3, I think it's, yeah, nearly 4 attempts to find to the current pole sitter. The provisional pole man, Legend. Who has just come out of the pits. So, who else is in on a flying lap? I don't think anyone else is on a flying lap. I think Legend might be coming round to start a lap though. So we'll follow the replay cam, see what happens with Legend on his lap. Let's turn off the map for a minute so we get more space. Is he just across the line? No, he's going for a flying lap now. So the Mercedes starts its lap. Braking hard down into turn 1, taking as much curb as possible there and getting a nice slingshot into turn 2. Gets the exit very cleanly, and now turn 3 is fairly simple in these cars. Because they have now got loads of downforce. Cover Grande easy into the Variante chicane. Easily over there, over the curbs, into the Lesmos now. Lesmo 1. More difficult at the corners, it's lower speed, you have to try and nail it completely. Lesmo 2, pretty good through there, no complaints from me, looks good from this angle as he enters Ascari. That's 2 sectors of the lap done. Wait, he still says he's on an outlap, I'm not sure if he is still going for it, but it looked like he was going for it as he powers down the back straight towards Parabolica now. And I feel, I'm not sure if it's actually gonna, if he's going for this or he's going into the pits, I'm not sure. He's going for it, he's about to cross the line, and he does improve, wow! Okay, it wasn't giving me the delta, I'm baffled by that, but Legend does cross the line and goes 4 tenths faster on his provisional pole lap, an 18.6. Has set this up. Is anyone going to be able to get close to that? That's the real question. We have a Haas spinning round. Whoa, that was Welper. He's the only Haas left in the session. He's stuck off the exit of turn 2, the exit of the first chicane, and going to get it round. Is he? He should get enough time for another lap if his tyres are in good enough condition for it, because they might not be. That's McRider's just coming out the pits. The other Ferrari of Nanni Baroni is just starting his lap. If you got any of the top guys in the championship or any guys up the front of this this lobby so far on lap, we have no one's really at the start of their lap, so we'll stick on with Nanni Baroni as he goes through the Lesmos. There was a Renault getting out of the way there. I think that must be Dallas. He's the only Renault in this session, from what I can see. The yellow's in sector 1, but now it's all clear. As Nanni Baroni down the back straight, getting a slipstream slightly off the McLaren in front. Legend has retired in the pit lane because he has finished his lap, and the McLaren has just moved out of the way there. Perfect timing for Nanni to get get some clean air into Parabolica, one of the most difficult with dirty air. He just go miles wide. He comes up to the line. Nanni Baroni, is he going to improve on his 20? Yes, he does. He goes 2 tenths faster, up to 11th, but still outside the top 10. I think he might go again just to see if he can get inside that top 10. But at the moment, 11th place is not a bad place to start. I think, yeah, online Osnizeret has started his lap in the Sauber, Alfa Romeo, that car. It's the Alfa Romeo, and there's a car off in the distance. That's the Haas of Welper off again. And that is his qualifying over. Wow, both Williams are going to be starting on the back row with the Haas just in front of them, as there's no time left in the session. So we've got online coming through Parabolica. We have the Red Bulls about to set their lap. I don't know which one's about to cross the line. One of them's just gone into the pits, and that is Gamer Mark. So GMCK is still out there trying to improve his time. He's coming up to Ascari, but as we follow the Alfa Romeo of online across the line, is he going to move up? He moves up to second and beats McRider. He sets an 18.7 and got actually within a tenth of Legend as GMCK comes through the final corner. Dallas set a lap to go 5th, ahead of the McLarens, and GMCK stays in 4th place. Couldn't make that much of an improvement. I think only about a tenth he actually made in the end. We have no cars out there, so that is the qualifying order. So we have the championship leader starting from pole, without any penalties. I didn't see any penalties. Let me just confirm this. Any grid drops? No, so there's no grid drops. So we have the championship leader, Legend, starting from 1st place. I think that might be a position he's started in quite a lot this season. Looking at the standings, he's won 7. Is that 7 or 8? It's 8. He's won 8 of the 13 races so far. So Legend starts on pole. Place 8, hundredths behind. McRider 3rd. Then we have GMCK in the Red Bull. Dallas in 5th with the 2 McLarens of Mems and Mocking in 6th and 7th. F1 Mustang in 8th. Gabs in 9th. Berra in 10th. Outside the top 10 we have Robbins, Nanni, Gamer Mark, Nene, and the Hasses and the Williams. Of the Hasses, Welper, and Tash, and the Williams is of THO20 and Nadir. As it's a little bit overcast, so could we potentially see some rain at Monza? I wouldn't put it completely. Again, there is some chance of the rain. Obviously, I'm not seeing any messages from drivers in the race. I won't know. They've got the weather forecast, so I don't. But as they fine tune their strategy, about 7 seconds left on that before we get underway. This is another chance for Legend to extend his championship lead. 82 points already. He can extend it another. Oh, let's see how far he can extend it actually after this race. Closest rival, McRider, starting in 3rd on the clean side of the grid. Gonna get the slipstream as well off Legend, so he might, if he gets a good start, might be able to challenge the Alfa Romeo into the first corner. But look at that. The Alfa Romeo, an Italian name, on the front row. A Ferrari in the second row. Both Alfa Romeos and Ferraris are actually right next to each other. on the grid. And yeah, the other ones, 11 and 12, in good positions as well, with fresh tyres to be able to use in the race. Here's the championship leader warming his tyres up at the front in the Mercedes. Very nice helmet design, I do have to say. He's keeping it under control. And we'll have a look at the Williams of Nadir, starting from the back. Don't know. Is there someone we're missing? Ah! TH020. Don't know if there's another way to say that, but yeah, he's had a spin on the formation lap at Lesmo, and now he's got to catch up back up to the field, and it's not going to have done his tyres any good at all doing that. But he's catching the field back up now. Number 37, Williams. There's a Ferrari spun now as well. Is that Nanni Baroni? It is. Nanni Baroni has spun in the Ferrari, and he's gonna go onto the grid with a Haas and a Williams. I think that's Tash and Nadir. It is. Tash and Nadir forced onto the grid with the Ferrari of Nanni Baroni. As the drivers start to line up now, gotta wait for all 18 drivers to get to the grid. So 3 already there, another 15 to come. And it's Monza, so we're expecting what a fast-paced race. A lot of drama coming from this one as well. So as we now build up to the lights, we're on board. Let's wait for the lights to build up so I get the camera angle. Here we go. 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Monza. And away we go for round 14. And I think the Alfa Romeo of Online has got a very good start. There's some front wing going in the distance. Don't know who that was, but Legend got a very poor start off the line. He's going to try and hold that into turn 1. He can't really get that. And Online has the lead out of turn 1. Great start from the Alfa Romeo. Any drama further back? There was some damage. I don't know who it was. It might have been the Red Bull of GMCK. I don't know. It was either the Red Bull or the Renault, I think. And let's have a look. The Red Bull is fine. The Renault is fine as well. So, oh no, the Renault is not fine. That's a big crash at the back. Dallas is out. Big crash. And there's a massive pile-up now. 5-second penalties for a lot of people there. A lot of collisions. And Dallas got clipped. He tried to go side by side with GMCK. And then... And there's a safety car now. Yeah, that was a big crash. The Renault driver already out of this race. And that kind of allows whoever has broken front wings to come back into the pits and get that sorted out. But that was a massive collision, the first corner. No, not the first corner. The first couple of corners, we were into the chicane at the end of Sector 1, beginning of Sector 2. And we have one driver out and many others with damage. A few penalties were dished out there as well. A few 5-second stop-go penalties, which won't help any of the drivers at all, as the McLarens both go into the pits, I think. Yep, they're going to double stack. It's going to lose Mocking Weeks a lot of time, and there's, what, 6 other drivers in the pits there? And they're all going to drop to the back. It's 7 drivers in the pits. That's everyone outside the top 10, all in the pits, and I think that must be to change front wings. It can't be strategical. There was a massive pile-up, so it would only make sense for them to all change front wings. It's going to be interesting where Mocking Weeks actually comes out at the end of this. As he went in, he was actually in 7th position. He might be unfortunate to have dropped all the way to the back here, and I think he is. I think he's been unfortunate to drop all the way back because the McLarens had to double stack because there was that much damage. And yes, Mocking Weeks has gone from 7th to 17th. It's not good for McLaren at the start of this race. But the big talking point of big thing about lap 1, Legend lost the lead on the opening corner to Online. It was a very, very good getaway from the Alfa Romeo of Online. He just managed to get ahead into turn 1 and managed to squeeze Legend out, stop him from going back up the inside at turn 2. So now Legend and McRider right next to each other, and this race gets underway again. It's going to be another lap under safety car at least, as they're all warming their tyres, waiting for the rest of the pack to bunch up. We should get underway underway at the beginning of the next lap. No, the end of next lap, sorry. As the McLaren of Mocking Weeks is about to close up to the back of the pack. Good start for Nanni Baroni. He managed to get his way through the traffic and is now up to 5th position. Started 11th or 12th? I think he started 12th. He's managed to get himself up to 5th. Position changes. There we go. Nanni Baroni up 7 positions. Actually, everyone's up 7 positions. From 5th to 8th. TH and the Williams is up 8 positions. Tash is up 6. And Nadir's actually still gained 3. And he got caught up in that first lap incident. He still gained positions in the pit stops from Robbins and Mocking. And he's actually 15th now. As the safety car brings us round on this 3rd lap of the race. They weave to keep up the tyre temperature. The pack is completely caught up now. Just have to avoid more collisions under the safety car. And hopefully we should be able to get this one going at the end of this lap. Didn't see any debris at that chicane. And the Renault has been moved out the way. So we can get underway, I think. I think the stewards are going to bring in the safety car. We'll wait and see. Yeah, there we go. Safety car in this lap. The safety car will head back to the pits. And we'll go... I didn't want to go onto TV pod. There we go. Onto online. To see how this shapes up from the restart. Mirrors a bit the 2018 Grand Prix, where there was a collision at the chicane at the beginning of Sector 2, the Variante chicane. And there was a safety car almost instantly, and he really didn't get going until the 4th lap. But here we go. Online has gone and got a really good start for his worth. Really good start from the Alfa Romeo as he leads us across the line to start lap 4 out of safety car conditions. And Muck Rider has got a hell of a run onto Legend in the Mercedes as they go down into turn 1. He's round the outside. Can he get this to stick? No, he's going to have to back out there. And Legend keeps the position. Nanni Baroni is in the gravel. He's in the gravel. He tried to go side by side with GMCK and lost out. He's in the gravel. And he's going to lose. Oh, nearly forced onto the grass there by Mems, who's got himself back into the top 10 now. And it seems like we've all come through pretty cleanly as of yet. There's a Mercedes just making his way through there, Berra. And no one else has crashed as of yet. Side by side, slightly between Nadir and Gabs. But Gabs has held on in the racing point. And fairly clean. It was a really good getaway from online. He's got a second clear of Legend already at the start, at the restart. And Legend's going to try and close him back down. Welper just lost out to Mems into Ascari. Goes a bit wide out of Ascari for his troubles as well. Legend's managed to get back within a second, and there's a move for 6th place as the Williams of TH trying to go round the... Oh, he's doing a switchback on Nene in the Toro Rosso. Who's going to get... Who's got the DR... Oh, no, DRS isn't open. Sorry, DRS will not open till lap 6 because of the safety car. I completely forgot about that. But the Williams of TH keeps that position. And up into 6th place he's gone. He's gone up 11 positions at the start of this race. A good start from him. The Haas of Tash is being pressured now by Nadir. I think he just tried to get past Gabs as well. Now he's been forced backwards again. Mems has now got past. Oh, there's yellow flags. There's yellow flags, and that is F1 Mustang. I think the Toro Rosso is backwards at the chicane. I think he's managed to avoid visual damage. I don't know if he's actually got any. But he's avoided damage from the way it looks from the commentary booth. McBride is falling back now from Legend. Legend trying to close the lead back to online. Well, trying to close that gap back to the Alfa Romeo in front. And doing it pretty well so far. Nene now in 8th position. Mems has got into 6th place. TH has gone into 5th. So good start from both of them. And DRS is now enabled, so they'll be able to use it for the first time on the back straight this lap. They won't get it on the pit straight, but they will get it on the back straight on this lap. And it's pretty. It's just all in a line so far. Are there any going to be any moves further back as Tash pulls out to just look? Nothing happens from it. So, online being closed by Legend. Is Legend going to be close enough going into Ascari to take the lead of this race? Is he going to be close enough? Go on board with the Mercedes as it comes through. He's going to have DRS. He's dropped back a little bit in that middle sector. Dirty air is pretty extreme from there, but especially with the low wings, they haven't got enough aerodynamics really to stay with it. Or the aerodynamics are a bit too sensitive. Will he be able to close on the Alfa Romeo sufficiently to overtake him into turn 1? Who knows? As they come onto the pit straight now for the 6th time. There's a car out of the race. That is Tash. I'll stick with this battle, but Tash is out of the race, and I'm assuming that's an Ascari. We'll have a look. Oh, it's a VSC's come out. Oh, Tash is out of the race, out of Ascari. And a VSC has been called to slow the pace of these drivers. And it was just at the wrong time for the race, for the neutral. We might have just seen an overtake for the lead. But, alas, the virtual safety car had to come out. Big incident with Tash, I think, at Ascari. DRS has been enabled again as we get under green flag racing once again here at Monza. That's the 2nd safety car we've had in the first 7 laps. And online, trying to hold on to the lead he took into the first corner from Legend in the Mercedes. It's more yellows. That's Nani Baroni, who's dropping further down the field. He spun out at Lesmo. I don't know if there was any contact there, but he drops to the back of the field. He drops to 16th position. And here we have Legend closing massively on online as we go into Parabolica and onto the pit straight. DRS will be enabled. It is enabled. Does he have enough of a toe with the DRS to drag his Mercedes closer to that Alfa Romeo? He is gaining, he's gaining. Is he going to be close enough to have a lunge into turn 1? He goes to the outside, he doesn't go for it. Thinks better of it. He's going to position his car maybe for the exit of turn 2, but doesn't get that great of an exit, and he's going to have to stay behind the Alfa Romeo of online for a bit longer. There are some other battles in the middle of the pack. It's Welper with Nene in the Toro Rosso. What can Welper do in the Haas? Started down in 15th place. Trying to work his way into the points. There's yellow flags in Sector 1. Who is that? Who is the... Oh, it's one of the McLarens, I think. I think it might be Mocking Weeks. Andy Baroni's gone into the pits. That's a Toro Rosso very wide. The Haas nearly losing it as well. We've got it. Oh, he's clipped the grass. He's nearly spun it again. That's 2 saves from Welper in the space of 2 corners. Very good, very good catch from both on both occasions from the Haas driver. But it didn't do him any good in trying to close the gap to Nene and maybe getting an overtake for 8th position. But we might have an overtake for the 1st position, and no, we don't. The championship leader has spun. Legend has spun at Parabolica. Oh no, what a shame. We were just building for a very good battle for the lead. Maybe an overtake, and Legend has spun, losing the power out of the final corner. And he's into the pits for a front wing change. Has he gone onto the hard compound tyres? He has. So... oh wait, is it hards? It is hard compound tyres. So he is going to try and go to the end of this race on the hard compound tyres, I'd assume. That's what he's trying to do. But he's now dropped all the way to 15th position. That is a real shame for the lead. But it is a big chance for those who want to try and close this title gap. They've got a big chance, a big opportunity to try and do it now. We have a Mercedes, the other Mercedes of Barrow, trying to squeeze his way past Welper. Welper giving him a Kevin Magnussen sort of squeeze there, as the other Mercedes nearly loses it, taking too much curb at Lesmo 2. Field starting to bunch out now as we reach the third of the way through this race. That's the Haas going very deep. That's Welper going across. Oh, ladies, as they go through, everyone's trying to avoid him, and there's a three more spinners. We have a racing in the Williams. Welper obviously going into the gravel, and Robbins also losing front wing. Not good for those guys. Another come out. So anyone pitting now is it's about time for some of the pit stops actually. Anyone pitting now will get a massive boost. The Red Bull going onto the soft compound tyres, is he? So he's going for the 2-stop. That's a committed 2-stop. Those will not make it to the end, I don't think. Is anyone else going for a... okay, Nene into the pit on the hot. He's gone onto the hard compound tyres. So that is... 2-stop. Both Toro Rossos onto the hards. The virtual safety has just ended. Most people going onto the hards. Gabs has gone onto the softs. Mocking has gone onto the mediums. Welder's gone onto the softs. Robbins has gone onto the mediums. So, quite a varying strategy for some of them. Legends managed, after all of that, Legends managed to get himself into 9th place. So, maybe the recovery is on. Muck Ryder, second in the championship, wanting to close this gap to the Mercedes. Had that unfortunate moment at Parabolica. Is under massive pressure now from the Red Bull of GMCK and the Williams of TH, who has managed to... and oh, they all come into the pits. They're all coming into the pits, so no one opted to try and overcut. A lot of drivers into the pits. Even the leader online into the pits. So Mems now leads. After I think he dropped down towards the back in this race after the first lap. But now Mems in the lead with Barrow in second. Yet to pit, both of them. Actually, no, they have pit. They pit very early on. But whether they can maintain these tyres to the end is a big question. Whether they can actually do that. Legend's going to... he's actually come out behind... wait, Online has lost a lot of positions there. He's gone from provisional first to provisional fourth in one pit stop. He managed to get held up by 3 cars, and now provisional first place is Muck Ryder in the Ferrari. Online has just lost a ton of time to those in front of him. Legend, after his pit stop, has actually come out behind all of them. He's actually about 10 seconds down the road from Online at the back of this bunch of 4. But Muck Ryder now leads this group of cars, which was the lead battle. I'm expecting the front 2 to probably pit once more onto the soft compound tyres, maybe try and get the fastest lap of the race. But now we have a Ferrari at Monza in provisional first. This is a big moment this is big time for Muck Ryder to try and close that 82-point lead that Legend has at the top of this championship. But it's going to be difficult. The slipstream, very powerful around here. It's essentially the only way to overtake around here. Online has managed to get his way past the The Williams of TH into 5th place, provisional 3rd. He's trying to make his way back through the order. They all chose mediums when they went into the pits there, that front group. The top 2 already on mediums, but they've been on them since the first lap of the race, since the first safety car of the race. So they will wear a lot, where they'll be a lot more worn than the other guys, and that gap is coming down between McRider and the drivers in front, who are on board with the Red Bull of GMCK as he leads us, well, following the Ferrari. He's quite close to the Ferrari actually, having DRS. Can he potentially get close enough into turn 1? A bit wayward through Ascari, but manages to just about keep it. Is he close enough to the Ferrari to make a move this lap as Mems comes into the pits for a change of tyres? I'm assuming that's another set of mediums he's going to go on to as well. But McRider now, they come round the final corner. And is the Red Bull close enough to close under DRS on the Ferrari of McRider? I don't think so. He's going to get closer. He's going to gain as Online sets the fastest lap of the race. Trying to close this gap, but TH has got back ahead of the Alfa Romeo driver, who just set the fastest lap of the race. So these guys must be exchanging incredibly fast times between each other. The fastest 2 drivers on track, as they try to gain on the 2 drivers in front of them, trying to take the provisional lead off them. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. That is Welper in the Haas, who is at the back of the field now, 10 seconds behind. I think he spun out a parabolica, struggled to pick the power back up, and now he has a massive task to try and get some points from this race after he's already pitted. But everyone else is already pitted as well. So are the Williams and the Alfa Romeo gaining on McRider and GMCK? I don't know, but the gap at the top is definitely coming down. It's 4 seconds now. It was 8 seconds a couple of laps ago as they round the final corner, and Berra is still staying out. Whether he's staying out all the way, let's go on board with the Ferrari of McRider, see how it looks from this point. Actually, the Red Bull's getting mightily close behind, and we could see a move coming out of this first chicane. Can he get enough traction to close down the Ferrari? He's really close, GMCK, to the back of McRider's 3/10 the gap. Can he close this and actually make it non-existent? Can he get ahead of the Ferrari going into the chicane? He doesn't go for it, and McRider stays ahead into the Variante chicane. Halfway through this race now, and the field it's not really, well, it's not spreading out as much as it would in a normal race, but this is Monza, so it doesn't count as a normal race. It is a one-off. There's a yellows in sector 2. There's been a spin at the chicane, and that is Legend. The championship leader has had another spin. I hope I'm not a curse to Legend. I'm sorry if I am. I don't mean to. But he's had another spin down at the Variante chicane. Second of the race. And there's a driver out. That is Gabs out at Lesmos. The Lesmos, he's gone into the wall. Lewis Hamilton 2011 or 2010, where he spun off there, and there's another VSC. So this is going to help Berra potentially. He could sneak into the top 10 after all of this when he takes his final pit stop. Gamer Mark has decided to come into the bits. I don't know if he was actually meant to be on the soft compound tyres, but he has taken this opportunity to change off them onto the medium compounds. The VSC has just ended as he's gone in. Not ideal for him. He's going to drop potentially out the top 10 here, and he does. He's going to drop past. Yep, he drops down to 12th position, but with fresher tyres than those ahead of them. 7 laps younger than the driver directly in front of him, Nani Barini. And Online has lost he's lost a position again to TH and the Williams, and Mems now is catching up this pack. It could make it a very interesting battle for the lead. GMCK has managed to get into second place. I did not notice that. Sorry for anyone who wanted to see that, but I didn't see it It's now a 1.6 gap to McRider now. And that could be crucial because now GMCK has managed to pull away from the DRS train. It could be crucial in deciding who wins this race. Berra was still expecting to enter the pits, but he stays out. Wait again. I think he might be extending it to go onto the soft compound tyres for the last 10 laps. But now McRider, under an awful lot of pressure from the Williams, who's about to take third place from him. SLR TH 020 into third place of this race, and Nanni Baroni has gone out in the Ferrari. Home crowd's not going to be happy, and there's another safety car. That is what, the second full safety car, the third VSC I think we've had in this race, and it's only lap 16. 4 drivers out, and a lot of drivers are going to come into the pits now, use this chance. Whether the leaders decide to do that, I don't know. They'll be risking, especially those at the top. I think Berra might risk it because he probably has to pit again. And if he goes onto a set of mediums now, he'll easily get to the end, be able to push pretty hard on those tyres, and still come out in the top 10, probably around 7th position, 7th or 8th, in between the Toro Rossos or just behind them. This bunches the pack up and gives Legend a real chance to get some points here. Down in 11th at the moment, he's just pit onto a fresh set of medium compound tyres. So let's see what the leaders decide to do. Is Berra going to pit? He is going to pit, as is GMCK, as is TH. McRider is confident enough on his tyres. He is going to go all the way to the end without another safety car. Online is going to stay out as well, and is Mems. That is going to be the front 3 after this safety car period. Berra has jumped all the way up to 4th position here. So that is perfect timing from the Mercedes. One Mercedes is struggling. Is the Toro Rosso going to beat them out the pits? Here we go. Mustang has managed to get ahead of GMCK, who was leading, provisionally leading this race. Berra with the pit stop has now overtaken him. He still had to stop again, and he now got a free pit stop up into 4th position. But McRider now leads this race. But F1 Mustang in the Toro Rosso has managed to jump 2 of the leading pack of GMCK and TH, and it's now up to 5th position. So very good going from the Toro Rosso. He's on hards, so he's on a much slower compound than the guys behind him, and they're 7 laps old compared to the fresh rubber that TH and GMCK have put on. Robbins is just, I don't know if he's just lost a position or gained. I think Nene pit. Yeah, Nene pit in the other Toro Rosso. So he's going to bunch up behind these guys. It's going to make it very interesting on the restart, which will be the lap after this, I think. Actually, maybe not, because there's a few drivers not caught up. Welper, he's not caught up. He's the furthest behind. The McLaren of Mocking Week should be able to close up by the end of the next lap. So we might get all but one car going next lap. So lap 18, we're looking at the end of lap 18. We're looking at a restart with 9 laps to the finish. Hopefully flat out, but most of the pack is bunched up. That's the top 10. 4 more cars yet to come up, and there's Legend, championship leader, down in 11th. So still without a point to his name in this race at the moment. He has some work to do to try and make his way through the field. There's Nadir in the Williams in 12th. Now we're just waiting for the McLaren of Mocking Weeks and Welper's in the final corner. So he actually should be able to catch this pack by the end of the lap. The McLaren of Mocking Weeks is there in the background, coming through the first chicane. So he should be able to close this up. So as it stands, McRider is going to take 25 points off the lead as it stands, in front of the Tifosi as well. So this is probably the best place to win if you're an Italian or if you're a Ferrari driver. and McRider is both of them. I'm pretty sure from what I've seen in the chat, he is Italian. And he's definitely driving a Ferrari. So, perfect for him. Online is still second. After he got that amazing getaway, but he only lost the positions in the pit stops somehow. Still not fully sure how he actually lost them. But Welper is on the back of the field now, pretty much. The safety car is staying out again, I think. So we're going to have another lap under the safety car. So this gives me a chance to actually look. Oh no, safety car isn't. Oh, no, I was going to look at the constructor standing, but we don't have much time for that anymore. So the safety car is making its way round now. As we're about to start, I should be on board with the leaders. I'm sorry about that. Safety car still trying to get into the pit. Sorry for the black box in the top corner. I forgot to turn notifications off. And McRider has gone into the pits. Whoa, whoa, wow. McRider has gone into the pits. That must be a mistake of strategy, because he has gone into the pits to change his front wing. Has he hit the safety car? He must have hit the safety car. I'm not sure. But GMCK, I think, has got a penalty there for ignoring yellow flags. So he must have overtaken under the yellow flags before the finish line. And he's now down in 13th. And he has left the session. So that is a mistake. McRider is now wishing for a safety car. But let's go on board. Let's go to the front as we have Mems trying to attack Online. Online has been gifted the lead from that mistake. Legend has lost a few positions because of that. At the end of that safety car, he's been overtaken right at the start of that. But now Mems try on the back. Oh, Berra right behind him. Berra's in a very good position on the soft compounder tyres. Fresher than both of these drivers in front, and a faster compound as well. It's going to be an interesting battle between these two. The two Toro Rossos are going at it behind them, with the Red Bull of Gamer Mark as well in there for the fun. He's gone a bit wide, and TH is going to get a run on him, I think, in the background. But we'll stay on board with the leaders. They're going side by side. Mems to the outside of Parabolica. Is he going to get it done? Turn 11 on the track. He's going to get this slipstream down the straight. No DRS for another 2 laps after this. So DRS will be allowed again on lap 21. Once again, sorry for the black screen and the black box in the corner. As Mems is going to the outside of turn 1. Is he going to be able to hold it all the way around? No, he has to back out. And, oh no, Online is going a bit wide. So he's going to give Mems another chance down to the very anti-chicane. This is a lot of battling all the way. He's going to go to the inside for the corner. Mems trying to get alongside. He's going to get squeezed out there. Berra looking at it. Just has to lock a brake to avoid an incident there. But they all get through there pretty cleanly. McRider now 11 seconds off the back of GMCK, who's 9 seconds. So there's about 20 seconds between McRider and the back of the main pack, who are all pretty much within a second of each other. Second or a second and a half. So this is some incredible battling right at the start of the safety, right at the end of the safety car period. As they come through Ascari, DRS will be enabled next lap. So as they come back down the back straight at the beginning of the next lap, let's go on board with the McLaren, seeing if he's going to gain enough down out of Parabolica to really have a go at Online here. Berra not really closing as he would have thought on those soft compound tyres, but he got a very good exit out there, did Mems, in the McLaren. He's going to get the slipstream down to turn 1, but he's not really gaining that much. The DRS would have gave him a lot more power down there, and he's not going to be able to do anything down into turn 1. A little bit sideways from Online in turn 1, but nothing coming out of it. McRider is now right on the back of GMCK. Is he? No, GMCK has left the session, I remembered that. So this is the main battle. The top 3, and actually with a Williams fastly approaching in the background of TH, who started, let's remind everyone, in 17th position on the back row of this grid. Both Williams started on the back row. Both of them have made up 10 or more places in this race. As as they come through Ascari once again. They are very tightly packed. But this time, we could see if Mems can stay with Online through the final corner, we could see a change of leadership. The DRS will be enabled for this time around, as Legend got another penalty and loses another position. He's back out the points, but at the moment his lead isn't under threat. His lead won't come down because McRider going into the pits after the safety car pulled in. But here we go, Mems trying to close the gap to the Alfa Romeo. Is he close enough to look at it? No, he does have a look, but he doesn't go for it. Can he get a good enough exit out of turn 2 to have a run down into the chicane at the beginning of sector 2? Who knows? As Nene has gone for a bit of a spin, I think, in the background. We'll stick with the McLaren into this corner, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere. And Nene has now retired. Oh, I didn't mean to bring up that. We'll see where it was. I'm just... it was turn 1. It was the exit of turn 1. Nadir has just made a move into the chicane on Robbins. So both Williams making a lot of gains in this race. And actually TH right on the edge of the top 10 in the championship. So is Online, so they're both going to massively gain. Probably get themselves into the top 10. Mems is 4th in the championship, so he's going to gain a lot of points at the stands. There's a Williams going off. There's a Williams spinning. That's a bit of front wing lost. I think that was a McLaren losing front wing. And Nadir is out. But here we have the four-way battle for P1 here. A four-way battle. The Williams going to not be able to gain anything. But here we go. This could be an interesting one into turn 1. Who's going to outbrake themselves? The Mercedes just gets it slowed down. Is he going to stay ahead? Berra is staying ahead of Online. Very good move from the Mercedes down the straight into turn 1. And Berra is kind of left behind there, trying to find a way to get rid of this Williams from behind him. He's going to go to the outside of the chicane, but the Williams of TH does not get a chance and actually touches the gravel. We're going to lose a bit of time out of that chicane. Nadir out, Nene out. So we now have 6 retirements from this race, as TH is struggling now after touching the gravel, struggling to keep up with his pack. Welper makes another mistake, and McRider actually now only 2 seconds off the points in this race. Legend up to 7th position, after starting on pole position and having a spin. I'm trying to remember what corner it was. Was it Ascari? I can't remember where he had his spin. All I remember is he had a spin and he dropped to the back, but now he's making his way back through the field and he's up to 7th. But as Mems is starting to pull away now again, 9 tenths was the gap. And actually 8 tenths as we crossed the line, but the Williams of TH going aggressively to the inside of Online. Both have DRS. TH does not have as much slipstream, but he should get this move. He has better tyres. Down into turn 1, he's going to force the Alfa Romeo out into turn 2, and TH onto the podium position now in that Williams. Very good driving from the pair of them, very respectful between this whole front 4 really. During this whole battle, it's kind of spread out again now, but TH and Berra still have a pretty decent chance of potentially nicking the win from Mems here, who kind of came out of nowhere in the safety car period. There's another retirement from Robbins. I'm thinking that was turn 1, but I can't really get the camera angle for it. Maybe it was the chicane actually. I could check. It was the chicane. No, well, Welper's having a mistake at the chicane, and now McRider is up to 9th position. TH just picks up a penalty after getting onto the podium, but now he's right on the back of Berra anyway. So maybe if he can get ahead of Berra and potentially pull out enough of a gap in the last couple of laps. I think Berra is a bit too far back from Mems to close the gap enough to take the lead. It's going to be whether TH can get ahead of Berra in his Williams, ahead of the engine partner in Mercedes. Oh, that gap is closing. That gap is closing between Mems and Berra, and they're really getting dragged along in the slipstream there. But it is incredibly close, and Gamer Mark actually looking at his sister team in the Toro Rosso, looking at potentially nicking 5th place off that Toro Rosso. Legend behind, I know has a penalty. I don't know if anyone else has a penalty. McRider trying to close gaps ahead of him. Mocking Weeks after being last for a long spell in this race. He's up in 8th place, so a very good race actually in the end for for McLaren. Mercedes also having a pretty good weekend. Williams Nadir was having a fantastic race. Still made up 5 positions, but unfortunately is out of the race. But TH is doing a fantastic job in the other Williams. Up in 3rd place currently. Now TH has dropped back. They've all dropped back slightly. So the closest battle right now is this battle between 5th place F1 Mustang and 6th place Gamer Mark in the Red Bull and the Toro Rosso. And Legend closing rapidly behind, but there's only 2 more laps as they start the penultimate lap of this race. That Red Bull was very sideways out of Parabolica there. Going to lose him a bit of time, a bit more of a chance down the straight, but we'll go on board with him. He does have DRS. He's going to gain massively down into turn 1. Who's going to stay ahead? The Toro Rosso is outbroke slightly. And the Red Bull just manages to get around the outside of turn 2. Very good move from Gamer Mark. F1 Mustang going slightly deep into turn 1, compromising him for turn 2. And Gamer Mark goes straight round the outside. Very good move from Gamer Mark. And he gets into 5th position. Now Mems has pulled out a 2nd lead. Is there going to be enough to lose DRS from Berra? Has Berra still got DRS? That is the real question. He has not. He's now under threat from TH down into Ascari. And TH is going to take the position. I think this is the Mercedes being a bit clever because he realises he's going to be close enough down the main straight to potentially get back at it. And that's a Williams sideways again. And TH has led him back through. And he's going to get the DRS down to turn 1. This is last chance saloon for these guys. Mems might be far enough ahead just to hold this now. As Legends getting a move at the outside of Ascari. He's going to get clipped. There, they keep it clean. The Toro Rosso giving him just enough space. This is going to be interesting who comes out of this on top. But I want to go to the front. Berra just being overtaken by the Williams of TH. He basically has 3 more chances. If he can get the slipstream. Berra has 3 more chances to get back ahead into 2nd place. But here goes Legend trying to get past, aggressively trying to get past the Toro Rosso and can't do it. Stuck behind Mustang for another corner. Can Legend get another position in this race with only a couple more corners, well, a few more corners to go? Berra now losing a lot of time to TH. He's now trying to fend off online. So we've got a lot of scraps here. The top 2 seem certain without penalties, but I don't know the penalties. But there's this battle for the podium we're going to stick on board with. As online, we'll actually go on board with him. He hasn't got the greatest exit out of Ascari, and I think that might be it. And there's yellows in sector 3. Who is that? I don't know. But they've gone now. Anyway, Mems in the McLaren, starting in 6th place, crosses the line in 1st. Is he going to hold that? Yes, he is. TH loses the podium. Oh, across the line. He'd done so well. He'd gained 15 positions on the track. He loses the podium from penalties. Drops all the way down to 4th. So Berra gets 2nd. Online gets 3rd. TH and the Williams in 4th. F1 Mustang 5th. Gamer Mark in the Red Bull 6th. Mocking Weeks for 7th. McRider finishes 8th. And Legend actually finished behind McRider. I don't know if that was because of penalties, or maybe he was the yellow flags, but I'm not sure. But McRider manages to get ahead. Gains, 2 points on the championship leader. But it could have been so much more had it not been for that pit stop just at the end of the safety car period, which lost him the lead of the race at that point. He dropped all the way down the field and finishes 8th in the end. But your winner today in the McLaren, Mems Virus, who started 6th position and just timed his strategy perfectly. As did the Mercedes in 2nd place of Berra. Timed that call to come into the pits after that first lap crash. he managed to come back to second. He's done fantastically there with the strategy calls. And in third place, we had, it was online in the Alfa Romeo. A Dutch 1-2. And an Alfa Romeo Hungarian in third place. But here's the full results. So Mems in first, Bevo in second, Online third, TH fourth, Mustang fifth, Gamer Mark in sixth, Mocking Weeks finished where he started in seventh, McRider managed to get back to eighth, Legend got back to ninth, Welper in 10th, GMCK disconnected from the session, but he was 11th. And retirements, we had Robbins, Nadir, Nene, Nani, Baroni, Gabs, Tash, and Dallas, who was on that first lap crash, unfortunately for him. But that was a cracking race. I hope everyone else enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. Hope it wasn't too annoying. But anyway, that was Straight Line Racing Tier 2, Round 14 at the Italian Grand Prix. And from all of us here at Straight Line Racing, we will see you next week.